Can you tell me a little bit about what happened that day?
Yeah. So we were leaving from a Family Dollar near our babysitter's house, and we were going on our way to drop our daughter off to the babysitter, and we didn't know she had a doll, and I guess the police were looking for us. We never knew the police was looking for us. They never alerted us that they were looking for us, or sirened or followed us, or anything of that sort. So we're heading normally to drop her off to the babysitter's house. And then next thing you know, boom, officers hopping out the car, banging on the window, telling us he's gonna shoot us in our face. He's yelling like, I'm gonna put a cap in you, your head. Just yelling things to me, my family, and instantly we're in just thinking like, oh my goodness, like we're in imminent danger. Something's bad gonna happen. We might not make it out of this situation alive. That's what's going through my head. I'm just like, let me remain calm, let me comply with this officer, let me show him that I'm just being respectful enough to not do anything that's going to agitate him any more than he already was. He seemed very angry already. So I'm just thinking, what can I do to make sure me and my family survive this situation? Because we obviously have like a bad cop that's trying to do something harmful to us at this moment.
And so you first saw the police car when you first saw the officer when he banged on the window. You didn't see the police car or any sign of law enforcement prior to that?
We seen cars just patrolling, but they didn't follow us or siren us or anything. We parked perfectly, took the keys out the ignition and everything. And next thing you know, a cop got into my blind side. I couldn't even really see if it was a cop or not. I could have been being mugged, robbed, or trying to be anything. I didn't know who was banging on the window with a gun saying, put your hands up. I'm gonna shoot you in your head. I don't know at that time.
And Aisha, you're in the car. Your two young daughters are in the back seat. What are you thinking at that point?
When it first began, like all I could think of is like, what's going on? Like, what just happened? You know, like the way he came off so aggressively, it was just like, I didn't know at that time, like, what was gonna happen.
So what happened next?
What happened after, him banging on the window, yelling he's gonna shoot us in the head. I'm yanked out the car, and then I'm thrown on the floor. My face is on a hot pavement, knee in my back, for no reason at all, because I'm complying. My hands were up. I didn't resist at all, and I kept insisting that I'm complying with you, sir. Just to let him know, like, you're being overly aggressive. Can you, like, calm down or something? Even people in the background, bystanders, can you calm down? Whoa, whoa, whoa. If somebody said that, whoa, calm down. Everyone can see that in the video. Everyone can see that. That was in the apartment complex. Many of witnesses seen that. And I'm just myself. I'm trying not to die, so I'm just telling him, can you calm down? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with you today, or can you just try not to stop hurting my family, attacking us, brutalizing us, and it was just trying to survive. That was just my basic mode of survival. Just let's be calm, because they can kill us and get away with it.
And then so you were put on the pavement, from what I understand from seeing the video, and at one point you're then picked up?
Yeah, he cuffed me easily. I didn't resist or anything. He cuffed me, then yanked me up off the ground by the cuffs. Then he slams my head into the door and it closes. I don't know if you've seen that. He slammed my head into the door and it closes. Then he slammed me again against the door. And then he tells me to open your legs or spread your legs. I spread my legs, as you can see in the video. Then he also just kicks me and makes my legs like collapse. I like buckled my knees and everything. I'm just like, and I'm thinking, what's this for? He punches me in my back. Like, I don't know what this is for. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm complying with you. Why are you doing this? I'm complying. Like, I'm thinking complying with the officers, they're going to treat you at least right or whatever. They're not going to be beating you up and doing like this. I've seen people shoot up schools and been walked to the police car and been treated better than me and my family was. And then who shot up schools.
So while this is all happening, you're also having your own experience with an officer. Can you tell me about that?
Well, another officer had ran around the car and pointed his gun. He was on the driver's side at first, And then he obviously was talking to me. I'm telling him I don't have any weapons in here. I have my daughters. You know, we're all afraid. You can hear it in my voice. We're afraid. Then he comes around, open his door with his gun still drawn out. So automatically my daughter gets out first, you know, and it's like, you know, what is he going to do next since this other officer is so aggressive like that? So, like, all I did was fear my life at every, like, second that it went on. And, like, I don't know, it's just scary situation to ever been put in, let alone my 4-year-old and my 1-year-old.
And you ultimately handed your children to a complete stranger.
Yeah.
What are you thinking in that moment?
In that moment, I felt like so threatened by the police. So I'm like, no way I'm giving this officer my baby. You know, so I hear a lady, like, you know, like yelling at them, like, to stop doing me like they're doing me. And, you know, and I asked her if she could grab my baby. I, like, instantly felt like I could trust her over an officer, which is very sad because I always taught my daughters that they protect the serve. But at that moment, she had to find out herself, you know, that that's not always the case. It's not like the officers was just bad. She tells me all the time, like, that's a bad officer, Mommy, bad. Like, you know, she was very scared. Never, ever had a gun pulled out on her. And it just hurt me to the T. It hurts me.
And so after the children were handed to another bystander, I understood you both were put into the back of a police car.
Yeah.
And did police interview you at this point?
No.
No?
They were just like, he was yelling slurs to her and me, like I could have shot you in your head in front of your kids, things of that sort.
And I do want to mention, too, that the officer kept grabbing on my 1-year-old that cannot walk, telling me to put her on the effing floor and, like, you're getting arrested for not putting her on the floor, which I refused. I refused to put my daughter on a hot 100 degrees floor, like, when she's not walking. Like, what if she would have burns or anything, you know, like, it could have been worse than what it was. And I refused to have put my daughter down, me being a mother.
And I understand one of your daughters were also injured in this bit.
Yeah, my 1-year-old, you can see in the video how the officer, he's already angry. Just imagine his force, like, grabbing her. You know, like, he grabbed me hard. So just I'm imagining how hard he was grabbing my baby. And, like, her arm was just, like, when they let us go and I went and got my daughter from the lady, she would not stop crying. I'm all like, I'm trying to figure out why she's crying. The lady actually had to tell me, like, look at the video. Like, her arm probably, like, hurts or something. Like, it just makes me want to cry thinking about it every time. You know, it frustrates me a lot.
And so you were both cuffed, put in the back of a police car. How long were you back there, and at what point did police talk to you?
I was out there for about an hour, and if you can see in the video, a couple of police came up to me, and I was telling them, like, it was like multiple police. It was about 12 police on the scene for a Barbie doll. I don't know why. I don't know. But about 12 police, some of them went up to the window, rolled the window down to talk to me, and I was just telling them, like, yeah, that's my car, because one of them accused it of being stolen or something. I'm like, no, that's my car. I gave him my name. So, like, during the whole course of an hour of me being back there, about, like, 2-3 cops probably talked to me without, like, reading me my rights or anything. So they were talking to me, asking what's happening and stuff. I'm like, he's threatening to shoot my family in the face, like, trying to put other officers aware of a bad officer. I'm like, he's threatening to shoot my family in the face. He said he's going to kill us. He pulled guns on the babies and things like that. I said he was being overly aggressive. Just trying to put them on notice because I know officers can arrest officers, right? If they see them doing something wrong. So that's basically what was going on. They talked to us. I was in there for a course of an hour. They released her about
15 minutes.
15
Not too long. I was in the car.
And so you were both released that day. No one was charged based on the alleged Barbie doll shoplifting incident.
Yeah, and I must say that Family Dollar said that they did not call the police and that they were not pushing charges. So I just really want, and their excuse was a bystander called the police. So I just feel like that was all like bull.
What did you think when you found out this all stemmed from your young child accidentally walking out of the store with a toy?
it just made my heart like just pound. Like that can happen to any family because their daughter takes something, that you're gonna react that way. Because they said that they seen a 4-year-old walk out with a Barbie doll. So you're gonna bring all those officers, you're gonna threaten to kill a family, shoot parents in the face, put a cap in someone's head, or however you wanna say it, make children look at a barrel, squeeze a child's arm, try to pull it out of the socket.
Put it on the hot floor.
Tell a mother to put their baby on the hot floor. You wanna throw a mother into a car head first. Oh, she could have lost the baby, thank God. You know, it's like all that over a Barbie doll. Because they said, that's what they say. They said they seen the 4-year-old walk out with a Barbie doll.
It wasn't them, it was a...
No, the police report, I read it. It said they seen a 4-year-old walk out. So that's what this all stemmed about. They seen a 4-year-old walk out with a Barbie doll. And it just makes my heart just melt because you would do that because a 4-year-old walks out with a Barbie doll.
And so you made a comment today that I think really spoke to where you're coming from in this situation, where if someone hadn't been recording that encounter, you might have been killed.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
I fear for my life and I fear for my family's life. So, like, it wasn't a relief because I still seen videos of police killing people live on video, and it's all over social medias and stuff. You can look up police killing someone right now, you will find a video in 2 seconds. You know, so I fear for my life. Even though I seen someone record, I'm like, okay, at least we'll be recorded. Maybe we'll make a difference. We're alive to tell the story. We're alive to put light on these bad cops. We're alive to let people know that this is going on. Because it's a lot of people's talking about it, but nothing's getting done. These systems have it to where they can cover up this stuff, and it's just not right now. That's not right at all.
And this encounter has drawn national attention in the about week since it all came to light. What has it been like to see this just really turn into this sensation?
It's overwhelming because we're still healing, and a lot of people want to hear our story, and we don't mind sharing it because it brings light to others like Jacob Harris, Edward Brown, and then people who's been police brutalized and shot and killed, and it's bringing light to all those situations too, as well as us, and letting people know like this stuff is going on, and it's horrible, it's not right, it's inappropriate, and people who's doing this injustice they need to be fired, and they need to. We need better systems that hold people accountable for doing this type of misconduct. And excessive force and everything of that nature that's not right. Because any job, any workforce, you're going to be held accountable. You're going to be fired if you do something wrong.
And so you mentioned Edward Brown and Jacob Harris, who were both black men who were shot by Phoenix police. I understand you are related to another notable person who was shot by Phoenix police, Michelle Cusseau. Can you tell me how you're related to her?
Yes, that's my cousin. My aunt is her mother, Fran. That's what I call her, my Aunt Fran. Aunt Frances, actually. But yeah, and that was her. And it's crazy that this can happen because that's my cousin. You know, it's a big it's like an age discrepancy with me and her, but still, like, for it to happen to the same family, it just speaks to how bad this stuff is. This can happen to the same family. This probably can happen to us again. If nothing gets done, this probably can happen to my family again. If nothing gets done, that's what people need to see. It happened to the same family, so it can happen to anybody.
So ultimately, what do you want to see come out of this?
I want justice. I want people to be held accountable. That's really what I want people to be held accountable because any workforce police, that's their job to protect and serve. So they need to be held accountable for their actions.
I think behind the desk is not good enough for me, you know, because sooner or later they're going to be right back out on the streets. So I say behind the desk is not good enough. They should be fired. This job is to protect and serve. And I know this is not the first incident with them officers. So I just want them to be fired.
Okay. Anything else y'all want to add?
Like anything. For For any young girls out there that thinks of taking a Barbie, I just hope that none of that stuff happens to their families. Like, my heart really melts when I feel like that's what they did over hearing a little girl takes a Barbie doll. This can happen to anybody, and I really would hate to see that happen to anybody or someone dies over that, because I really feel like my family would have died over this, a Barbie doll.